Hey guys, Dylan here from 8 Daily Sins. Today, instead of a breeding video, we're going to go ahead and touch on how to pack spiders. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram asking how us vendors, we pack and ship spiders, so I'm here to give you the deets. Let's get to it. One thing you also want to keep on hand is a catch cup, just in case you get a runner, which does definitely happen. Alright, and then I'm going to give you a little insight about how to make these. So the 3.5 drams Sharpie marker. You take one single paper towel. I use the Viva paper towels. They seem to hold the moisture the best. You're going to fold it in half. Turn the camera down a little bit here, I'll show you. Fold it in half. Fold it in half again. I'm going to rip it in half. Everybody has their ways of doing it. This is just the easiest for me. So then what you want to do, so the vial is about this big. You want to measure it to the size of the paper towel. You take your Sharpie marker. Don't put it all the way down. You'll see why in a second. You just roll that up. If you have tiny baby hands, you can roll it up with your pinky. And then you take your vial. See how it bends like that? That's what you want. Then you just put that in there. And boom. Just like that. Alright, and then the first spider we're going to pack up is the Sazami. So what you want to do is spray that water. You don't want to get it soaked. You just want enough to dampen it down a little bit. You can use a Sharpie marker to kind of open it up again. As you can see there, there's the spider there. This little guy. So usually, you know, people get a little crazy with the catch cups and stuff. I think some of it's a little too excessive. I mean, there's a time and a place for catch cups. Like when I'm packing up adults or like fast spiders, I'll be packing up a Colombian funnel web Saracata pretty soon. So, but these guys here, you just kind of touch them in the butt. You just kind of guide them into the vial. And once they're in the vial, see, sometimes they give you a little bit of a hassle, but just gotta have patience. And see how I'm doing this? You just kind of put the vial on the side, kind of poke it in there. There you go. And then for the rest of it, you take just a little. There's no real rhyme or reason for a little bit of paper towel that you use. Just something like this, kind of. Fold it in half and fold it in half. I usually keep this part dry. So we're just going to put that on top. And just like that. And that's the Sazami. Alright, so another one we have to pack up is Kilbrachys fimbriatus. I have 2 of them that I have to box up. So we're just going to spray that down. Like I said, not really wet, you just want it kind of damp. Again with the marker. These guys here, always use a pair of tongs, you know, to lift this up, see about where they're at. You don't want to go ahead and, one thing I see a lot of people doing is just dumping this cup out, you know, upside down. That freaks a spider out. I mean, just think about it. If your house was to just turn upside down all of a sudden, you know, it would be kind of crazy. You know, you just kind of want to, here he comes out the side here. There he comes. And then you just kind of guide him in there. Bam, just like that. And then if you tap him down in there, he'll go ahead and snuggle up inside that deli, inside that vial. And that's it. Yeah, you don't want to just like, now that I have a lid on, you don't want to just turn it over, because that's going to freak them out. You know, they're going to obviously take off, or you can injure the spider, which is also not the goal. And again, we got a little bit of paper towel here. And that's that. And then I have another Fimbriatus to pack up. One thing I do is I have one of these label makers. You just type in, you don't have to type in the whole name. You just type in like Sazamai print. And then you can type in, we got 2 Fimbriatus. Print. What else are we going to pack up today? We got Tarantulas cordatus. So we can do that. Cordatus. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on pause, that way I can get these printed out. I'll be right back. Alright, so now that I got all these printed out, you'll see what I do here. So I have, this is that Fimbriatus, and this is that Sazamai. That just, tells the buyer that, whatever's in that vial. I always just double check. It's going to be same thing here. This is a Fimbriatus, second one. So we're just going to pull this top web off slowly. Okay. I'm going to nudge them out. Here he comes. So we're going to go ahead and get another vial ready. Let me tell you, packing up fossorial tarantulas is not my favorite, but being a lover of Asian fossorials, I mean, it's kind of giveaway. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. You just kind of have them run up the side here, and you can see there, if they don't go in the vial, that's perfectly fine. You can always just kind of get them on your hand like that, and then just guide them right in there. See that? So for those that are arachnophobic, if you were thinking about packing up spiders, you'd have to kind of get over that fear kind of quick. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it helps a lot because you're going to have sometimes spiders running everywhere. I mean, it's it's all part of shipping. It's all part of, you know, you see I do photography. It's all part of that too. You're going to just, you have to just do it. I mean, there's not really any way around it. If it makes you feel any better, all spiders kind of feel the same. They have velvety bellies. They have the hooks in their toes. You know, they're kind of all the same. And then we'll go ahead and put a piece of paper towel over there. Close that cap. Now notice I'm not using any kind of tape or anything on the caps. As long as they're not getting bounced around like crazy, these lids are pretty secure. Now, I can't speak on all the lids, but these ones that I use, they're pretty nice. I never had one bust open on me before. Now you'll see when I start putting stuff in deli cups, you'll see I put tape on them because I don't trust deli cups. And that's another Fimbriatus. See that? Okay. Next one is the Vagans. And I will show eventually in this video. Maybe I'll make a part 2, but we'll see how long this video gets. I'll show you how to pack a larger spider. I do have to pack a dark color form OBT today at some point. So this is the Totocado Vagans. And as you can see, he's just a little guy. You just want to be patient. Don't go grabbing him or anything like that. Just be patient with them. The more patient you are with them, the less likely they're going to bolt. The less likely they're going to, you know, threat pose or anything like that. Just got to be patient. It's the key for life, basically. Patience. Nobody gets here overnight, except for these guys get to your mailbox overnight. Okay. And that's the Vagans. We'll go ahead and throw that label on there. Don't mind my big old belly. My wife's been feeding me good. Alright, so that's the Vagans. Next up is Tarantulas cordatus. Okay. For these guys, they like it a little bit drier, but it's also been very hot, so kind of like to give them a little bit of moisture on the way there. These guys, same thing. So once you get into the old world, I mean, they're going to be a little bit more bolty, but you just think one step ahead. So this one's coming up the side. We're just going to nudge them out. Nudge them out. He's going back in there. Come on, buddy. Sometimes it helps if you hold the deli cup sideways like that. As I said, sometimes. But see, you just have patience. Just kind of nudge them in there. See? You just poked your butt. Get all the way in. There you go. And you don't want to, so when you're doing these cups and the vials and such, when you're packing them, you don't want a whole lot of room for them to move around. You just want enough to where they're nice and secure on the way there. You don't want them too tight or too loose. You'll see right away if your tarantula, like, you don't want to put something like this size in something like this, basically, because they're just going to be flying around during shipping. More chances of being with their abdomens ruptured, things like that. More chances of getting hurt on the way to the destination. We'll go ahead and put that label on there. Last but not least, we got the Aphanopelmahense. At least for the shipment. So this is just one of them. I got another one to go. Okay. Just like all the other ones, just nudge them in there. There you go, buddy. Boop, boop. There he goes. I like to give them a little bit more bumper because FedEx likes to, I'm not saying they're a bad company, they're a great company, but they like to throw your boxes everywhere. So I like to give them a little bit more bumper, that way they're not bouncing around as much. And there's the Hensi. So those 6 are headed out to their new owner. And I will return when I get everything else for the second box. I'll be right back. Alright, last but not least, we got the box. So the box, normal shipments I use the 7x7 Reptiles Express. Has the foam insides. You'll notice 2 sides won't be labeled. I usually take a Sharpie and go ahead and label those where it says live animal, rush, and then you put up arrows because you don't want the box upside down during shipping. Same thing. And that's because if it's sitting on the conveyor belt in the warehouse and it doesn't have this out, you know, this one's going to be blank. They're not going to know it's a live animal. So I like to make sure all 4 sides are taken care of. Okay, and then as far as stuffing for the box, I've been using this pillow stuffing. It's been working fantastic for everybody. You know, everybody seems to really like it. So then you just put these in here, just kind of nest them in there. They don't have to be perfect, because I'll show you why in just a second. And then just fill the top with more stuffing. Make sure to pack it down pretty good. Usually I don't skimp on the bumpers for the slings, because the last thing I want is DOAs. You know, like I said earlier, with them being bounced around in the truck and things like that, I don't like it. So we'll go ahead and pack that in there. And as you can see, it's fully packed. And then if you have any business cards, stickers, anything like that for shipments to give away, I usually put that right on top. That way when the customer opens the box, they see that sitting right on top for them. I usually give them one of my Instagram link cards and a sticker. You know, whenever you order from me, you get a sticker, and this is for my Instagram. This is the QR code. Okay, now that's nice and packed up. One thing to keep in mind is where it's going. So this one is going to Nebraska. So it's going to be kind of chilly in the morning, warm in the afternoon. May or may not put a heat pack in this one. For those ones that go to Florida, the ones that go to California, things like that, you probably don't need a heat pack all year round unless you live somewhere that's extremely cold. If they're going to North Dakota, you know, Michigan, somewhere that's cold, you're probably going to need a heat pack. I mean, there's not really any way around it. Buy heat packs in bulk and save a lot of money on them. And I'll be right back. Alright, so the next box is going to have a dark color form OBT, and it's going to have a Linothelli serracata, the Colombian funnel web spider. Let me check and see what size this guy is. Gonna need a bigger vial. So when you order vials, they give you a little sample pack. It's kind of cool. Saves a lot of time. That one looks perfect. So we're going to go ahead and put these back. So as far as packing this vial, it's the same thing. Go ahead, fold it in half. Turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. Fold it in half again. Rip it. Just this time, probably not going to have to same thing. Not too much. Alright, so now we're going to get more advanced. So this is a very fast spider. They don't do well with being bothered. So we're going to kind of just go ahead and we're going to see if we could maybe poke it out right into the vial. Because wouldn't that be convenient? Which I highly doubt that's going to happen because that only happens in dreams. It only happens in Wonderland. So we're going to go ahead and take that out of there. always just be careful where you put your hands. You don't want to put them somewhere where they can nab you or anything like that. Yep, he's not going to want to go into the vial. Good thing about Tarantulas is they can't climb plastic, they can't climb glass unless they have web on the glass or the plastic. So use that to your advantage, you know. Get them into a corner where there is no plastic, there is no webbing, you know, there's no anything that they can grab a hold of. I'm going to go ahead and pull this plant out. Sometimes you can back them into the vial, but this one just wants to go straight, which is fine. Just patience. You know, if you start getting kind of shaky, you know, if you're new to this and start getting kind of weird about it, we've all been there. No judgment. I say weird because I don't know how to describe the feeling that you get, but I know what you feel. You just take a break. Take a break. Come back to it. That'll give you time to rest. That'll give the spider time to rest. You know, it's a little bit less stress for everybody in the long run, you know. And usually you can pack up the day before, so even if you did have to take a break, you'd still be fine. You know, come back to it later on when you got more time, you're less stressed, the spiders calm down. You know, try to take out anything that you can get. Just a water dish. And I'll tell you right now, they usually don't like being packed up, but for the most part, you can kind of get them to cooperate. There he goes. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so after that little run, we're going to go ahead and redo some of this. Give him a little more room, because I think what happened was when he got into the vial, he felt like he didn't have enough room. Obviously not comfortable, took off. Understandable, but we need to get him into here because he's got to go home. So what we're going to do is get the spider back in home, just like that. Keep that catch cup handy just in case he runs again. And he's in. So what you want to do now is get a piece of paper towel like before. I'm going to rip up a square, fold it in half and then half again. So sometimes the spider will be facing your fingers. Obviously you don't want to get bit, so you just do one of these. Like that. And that Saricata is to go. Just like that. And then I'll just put all this stuff back in here for now. Put everything together. Alright. So this is the big one. This is going to be the dark color form OBT female. It's put on my good buddy Ricky up in Twin Falls. So what you do, so you want a whole paper towel for this one. So you take that paper towel, you fold it, and you fold it like this, and then you can put it in here, just like that. Okay. Because it's an OBT, you don't want it to be really damp at all. You just kind of want to spritz it just enough to hold that paper towel in place. Just like that. It is still kind of warm up in Twin Falls. Also, what I like to do is put a piece on the bottom for more bumper. That way, if she does get bounced around, her abdomen is safe. Okay. And then, you'll take another paper towel. This will be the lid piece. So I'm going to just fold it like that. Fold it like that. And then once you get her in there, you can go ahead and finagle that in a place. But we'll worry about that when we get her in. So we're going to move this haircut to the side. So these, you know, as you know, OBTs are feisty, they're fast, they have a bad reputation. But I'll show you the way that I do with these guys. First and foremost, always catch hold, because you don't want to try to free pack these guys like you did with the other ones. So you just catch her in a cup. She will be nervous because she is going into a cup. Okay. See? So just keep an eye out for the bolts and the threat poses and things like that. I'm kind of experienced with all of it, so it doesn't really bother me much. But I'm trying to show you guys the right way of doing things. So now that I got her in the cup, go ahead and put that on there. So check this out. Watch this trick. Put that aside. Now, what you want to do, so she's on top. She's right here. She's facing down. She's going to walk out. Okay? Okay, so now there's no lid. Now that's in between is you and the spider. Give it a tap. Watch for any bolts. Oh, there goes the threat pose. I don't have a lot of room here, so I kind of need to keep that cup here. So the threat pose. So, easiest method is to, when they're in a threat pose like that, sit down so you can see me. Take this paper, put it right over top of them. Calms them down instantly. And that is it. That's easy. I mean, even if it's your first time, you can do that. I got faith in you. If I can do it, you can do it. And then these, like I said earlier in the video, I do like to put a piece of tape on these guys. So I don't trust these lids. Okay. And then you just follow the steps like you did before. This tape sucks. I'll probably never buy this tape again. I don't like it. But anywho. Tape that guy. Usually, I will give people a heads up on these, because when they get them at their house, that OBT is going to come flying out, because she's going to be mad about being in that box. So I will say, hey, I'm giving you a heads up. Watch out when you open this box. Watch out when you open that sarcata, because you might have a wild spider. And then the rest is the same. You just put them in the box. Also, I mentioned, so when you put them in the box, and you got the cotton and stuff, or you can use, a lot of people use newspaper. I use newspaper when it's available. Put them in the box. Give them a good shake. Not anything crazy, but give them a good, just to make sure everything's in place. Nothing's moving around in there. If you hear stuff moving around, unfortunately, you're going to have to take that box apart and finagle it, so to say. You're going to have to go ahead and open that box up, make sure the vials and stuff are in a better position, and then you can close it up. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, you can comment here, or you can feel free to PM. I'm not against any kind of private messages on Facebook. If you feel embarrassed about asking, in the comments or something like that. I'm the last one that's going to make fun of you, even if it's a silly question, so you don't have to worry about that. I tend to ask a lot of silly questions myself, so if I ask silly questions, why would I make fun of you for asking supposedly a silly question, So I'm going to get these guys out. They're going to their new homes. They'll be there tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. See you guys later. Peace.